Jonathan. Tonight's dinner marks the 66th anniversary of MRI delivering what are really significant solutions to some of the most significant problems that the country faces. All the projects we've dealt with, all the advancements, all the discoveries over the last decade, you saw them up on these screens, lead us to the point where we're at today. And we're an organization that tends to look forward. So we're looking at all of those things that have happened over time and sort of looking at the new destinations and where we can go and what can we see and what can we imagine in the future. And so we imagine a society that we have that's no longer dependent on foreign oil. We imagine a population that's disease-free. We imagine troops that are no longer threatened by chemical, biological, and explosive weapons. That's the way that we think in terms of what we do every day. We know if we can imagine it, and we have a good plan and a good vision and a good team, we can get there, or we certainly can be a big part of getting there going forward. We can reach those destinations. I had a lot of options about what I was going to talk about tonight. Obviously, the easiest one is to talk about the latest nano whatever, or the next diagnostic test that we have that most of us probably don't understand. I don't even understand. Instead of talking about those discoveries and really the technical solutions, what I want to talk about is how do we get to that point? I mean, Bill told you the numbers about MRI. We had 31% growth last year. Dan had 44% growth last year at NREL. We're strengthening at a time in great weakness in the world. And so I think it's important for you to understand how we've done that. I think it relates to other businesses, and it should give you confidence in the team that has been in place at MRI for decades that was introduced at the leadership level, and also the team that's here at this point in time. So my goal is to give you our Kansas City Chiefs playbook. I mean, how often, Jack Stedman's here, Jack, how often can I use that to say that we're aligned with success? Okay, getting serious. 11 years ago, Jim Spigarelli put forth the first really corporate-wide, integrated, all sites, all people, all elements strategic plan for MRI, a multi-year strategic plan. It's a remarkable document. It foretold several initiatives. I'm just going to mention a couple, so this is going back a little bit in time. One of the major initiatives was the need to elevate biological sciences at MRI. We had to amplify those capabilities in our organization. We had strong chemistry, strong engineering, but biology was not as strong. This initiative led to the purchase of Brevard Teaching and Research Labs. As Bill mentioned earlier, that's obviously something that's close to home for me. That was my company. And it was the first move of MRI outside Kansas City and NREL. So it was our first geographical expansion for this company, and that was a major change. The lab offered excellent facilities, folks that knew genetics, molecular biology, all the state-of-the-art of things that were going on at that time. This is the time of the human genome. This is 1999. We brought excellent capabilities in terms of locations to customers and proximity as well. I personally learned a number of valuable lessons in that process, probably the most significant of which is the fact that Jim likes to win. Anybody that knows Jim likes to win, whether it's on the basketball court or it's a business deal. What was unique about this was after 8 long months of negotiation, what he and I were really doing, whether it was working in a conference room late at night or it was that night at Coconut's restaurant in Cocoa Beach, we were developing the vision for the future of this company. And if you look at where we are and what we do right now, we had that dialogue 10, 11 years ago as he was buying my company. And I think that's the foresight that this kind of organization has that we have moving forward. So that's really solidified our vision going forward. Another initiative that was in that plan was the fact that our facilities here in Kansas City were aging. And if we were going to be a leader, we needed to upgrade those facilities, but more importantly, we needed to integrate science and engineering in sort of an ever-changing environment in the laboratory. I don't know how many scientists and engineers are in the room, but just integrating scientists and engineers in itself is an extremely unique proposition. Facilities are obviously a unique proposition as well. Well, we ultimately went through a major renovation period. 80,000 square feet of our facilities were renovated, and we actually obtained LEED certification. If you look at the screen here, it's a little tough to see. That's Times Square, and that's an announcement of us attaining LEED certification and a picture of our new facilities in the building. So that initiative put us in a position for growth for the future. As I thought about these two, I wanted to just pick 2 initiatives from that past plan until I go forward. There was another common and very important theme that we're honoring tonight, and that's the Hall family. When Jim was looking at the strategic plan, one of the things he said is, I need some additional money because we're a not-for-profit institute to change this company, to change it significantly at the time of the millennium. The Halls were there to support us. When we went to the facilities, we said, we really need some support. The Halls were there. They were supporting MRI and our future and our stability and what we could do, and they were supporting the future of science and technology, and we'll hear about that in a little bit, and it certainly is a worthy recognition. I had a good fortune to participate in the sort of revamping of Jim's plan in 2001. We made it a very solid plan. It continued to be very relevant for what we were doing, guiding the Institute moving forward. And on September 11, 2001, everything changed for this company. Everything changed. All the things that we had planned for and we expected we were going to do, all of a sudden we weren't going to do. But it told us what we had done by elevating biology, by elevating other capabilities that we had, by branching out regionally into different locations, we were prepared for what was needed after September 11th. In the 5 years after that period in time, the company doubled in size, but more importantly, we doubled our impact. You saw some of the things that were going across the screen of the types of things that MRI did during that period of time. We established numerous locations across the United States. We have 17 locations in 11 states right now, so far. So much of what we are today and can do today and what we will be in the future is the result of those kinds of decisions in the past. Because the demand for what we do best continues to grow, it's my strong belief that we must continue to evolve, we must continue to grow, we must continue to diversify our business. Only with capacity, really strong bench strength, an empowered staff, a high-spirited staff, a problem-solving staff will we be successful in doing that. We now want to make a global impact. That's our goal. We need a global impact from MRI in security and defense, energy, environment, life sciences, food safety, agriculture. We need organizations like us that are large enough and nimble, organizations that are broad yet specialized, adventurous yet strategic, with just the right amount of Midwestern attitude thrown in there because our customers like to work with us. This is the vision that we put forth in the new strategic plan that my team and I put together that will carry us for the next 5 years. Top on our list in this plan is to achieve sustainable, profitable growth. The Halls helped us in the past, and we needed that help. Now it's about MRI. Now it's about our operations and what we can do with our company to continue to grow this organization. We set an ambitious timetable, and the goal is to double again in 5 years. In looking back at the development of this guiding document, one of the things that makes me proudest is the courage of the new leadership team that I have. They rallied behind my somewhat insane, aggressive approach to goals and supported me, and they got the staff to support me, and they're excited about it. The board's excited about it, and that's exciting. I'd like to introduce my team tonight very quickly, and this is my core management team. First, Dan Arvizu, who is our Executive Vice President and also the Director of NREL. We have Tom Sack, Dr. Tom Sack, who's our Senior Vice President and leader of our technical operations. We have Tom Fleener, who's our Chief Financial Officer and Senior Vice President of the company. Lila Paradin, who's our Chief Information Officer and Vice President of the company, and Linda Evans, who is our Vice President of Corporate Human Resources. It is indeed a powerful team. Those of you who know me and know that I have an oceanography degree will greatly respect what I'm holding in my hands, the starfish in that picture, as I talk to my team. So, what's so unique about where we're evolving in our mission? And the best way for me to talk about this is to give you a few examples of some of the things that have happened over the years as we've evolved from projects of the past to projects of the future. Late in 2001, we built our first mobile laboratory. It was for the Department of Homeland Security. It was right after September 11th. They said they needed a deployable lab to rapidly and accurately test for chemical materials. We set up shop in our parking lot. This is the lab in our parking lot. Blocked off numerous spaces. We actually had a workshop in the parking lot next to this laboratory. It ultimately was deemed the most accurate mobile laboratory in the country when we were done. Fast forward to today, same objective, new MRI. In April of this year, we were awarded a $60 million contract for our mobile laboratory program. If you visit Richards Gebaur Airport, you will see our airplane hangar there, our operations. It doesn't usually look quite as nice as it does in this picture. But there you'll find at any given time the design, the fabrication, all of the aspects, engineering and science, of probably 10 to 15 laboratories being built in that airplane hangar. We staffed those laboratories as well. So internationally, this organization has dozens of people who work in these mobile labs protecting our troops real time in the battlefield on a daily basis. Switching to life sciences, over 3 decades ago, MRI took a strategic risk to purchase instrumentation and hire chemists for a new program called the National Toxicology Program. The investment in equipment and staff paid off. This program has been a mainstay for MRI for over 38 years. Last week, we received word that our 2,400-page proposal was accepted and will result in a new and expanded and more impactful 5-year contract. The nature of this work has further propelled MRI as we are now a national leader in assessing and researching treatments for pandemics and infectious diseases.